Today is the day. YouTube. We are cutting the teff. We're looking at the teff planting. This part of the field here is the part that was planted on Monday, the first part that was planted. This is Wednesday of the following week, so it's been 9 days. And if you can see, there's a little bit of field debris, weed here and there, but you can see, here's a good spot right here. All that green right there, that's teff. So, looks like we got pretty good germination. It is a little bit cool today, which is not helping it, but we've had several days, upper 70s, lower 80s. So this is a 9-day-old seed. You can see how deep the roots are already. And these were actually, I first saw these up. So I actually saw these up Sunday the first time. That was the first time I really came back and looked, because I didn't really think I'd be able to see them. And sure enough. So teff is an extremely fast germinating seed. Today is May 23rd. It was planted on May 11th, which is a Monday. So this is 12 days after planting. Okay? I don't know if the camera will pick this up. I think you guys can see there's a pretty good green tint out there. Between, it's about that tall right there. So that's roughly 2-week mark for the teff that I planted, the 25th, Memorial Day. It's a Monday. This was planted on a Monday 2 weeks ago. I was out here 2 days ago, and I'm gonna show you that. And it is amazing what a difference 2 days has made. So here it is, guys. Look at all that green out there. I mean, holy cow. Now, right here at the edge where we kind of drove over it a little bit more, right here in this little corner, and even, it's still crazy thick right in here. Just right in this corner, it's not quite as thick, but it's still gonna be thick enough to fill in really good. You can see how thick it is, how tall it's getting. I think it's safe to say, I hate to say this too soon, but I think this stuff is gonna come up so fast that I'm not gonna have to worry too much about weed pressure, which is, I was a little bit worried about weed pressure, but I'm less worried about it now. This stuff here is what is teff. That little stuff there, you can just kind of see it everywhere. I think this is week number 5. I think this is 5 weeks since we planted this. I'll have to go back and look and check. But it's doing pretty good. Not too bad. You can see some of the gaps here. That's not stuff that didn't come up. That just didn't get planted when you made the turn. And not to point any fingers. You know who you are. Anyways. It all looks pretty good. It's extremely dry. We haven't had any rain since we planted this, basically. It was damp. If you remember, it was wet whenever it was planted. It actually rained. I guess it rained a couple tenths on this after it was planted. I thought it was going to rain a lot more. It ended up not raining, and it hasn't rained since. There's been several times, several occasions that there have been calling for rain, and we've not gotten anything. Other people have gotten, my parents have gotten stuff about 30 minutes away. My wife's parents have gotten stuff about 45 minutes away. We've gotten nothing. So, here is just an example of how tall it is. You can see that, I don't know, really halfway up my forearm. So it's roughly a foot tall. It was actually probably too wet when I planted it, and then now it's turned off super dry. We haven't gotten any rain since I planted it. I did fertilize it, fertilized everything with 100 pounds of urea, which comes out to 46 pounds of actual nitrogen, as well as 50 pounds of potash, 30 pounds of actual This is an interesting thing. I can tell this is where my dad stopped spreading, and he did not disengage the drive chain, and he started dumping fertilizer there. You see how it's super green right here? And he dumped it all the way up to the road, went across my field up here, killed that grass. It was so much. But it was interesting. The reason I point this out is not to blame my dad for something. It's not really that big of a deal. But is over here in this field, the Timothy, the orchard grass, the alfalfa, where it got that much fertilizer on it, looks like you sprayed it. Dead as a doornail. This Teff is green as can be right there. So it likes that fertilizer. Much better than the other stuff does. If we pull this down here, I don't know if you can even see that, guys, but it's pretty fine stemmed. Really fine stemmed. The day after I baled everything, so I fertilized everything, even the stuff that I baled. The orchard grass, alfalfa, Timothy, all that good stuff. But one thing I want to note is it was supposed to come a really big rain here right after we baled. We had about a day of dry, and then it was going to start raining. So we put the fertilizer on the day it was supposed to be raining. And I'll have you know, it completely split, fizzled out, went right around us, so we didn't get any rain. My goal was to put the fertilizer on and it start raining to incorporate that nitrogen, but we didn't get anything. So, you know, we got some nitrogen, but now this here's up to my knees, but not near. I'm sure we got some in with the dews and everything we have, but not near what I was really wanting. So, but it is what it is. We did get something on there. We're out here in this smaller patch that I baled. This is looking pretty good. You see some stuff, probably some Timothy that hasn't come back here. But the orchard grass is growing really good. The alfalfa is growing pretty good. Pretty good looking stuff there. There's what the Teff looks like. You can see where it's just kind of how it's worked out spreading the fertilizer. There's some green and some yellowish spots. Just how it goes using a buggy. Is here. I mean, if you pull it up, it's over knee high, but I wouldn't call that over knee high. I'd say that's roughly knee high. 5-week update on Teff grass. Oh, there's some deer. Looky here. I can't tell if I can see them in the screen or not. Yep. Hi, deer. You coming to eat some of my hay? Oh, no? Where you going? Hey, I just want to play. Probably because I'm out here in their feed trough. Some people are so unappreciative of what they get from others. It is Tuesday, June 23rd. I'm one day off of my 6-week update on the Teff. I'm actually cutting this alfalfa field here. Cut the one by the house. You guys will be seeing that video. And today, like I said, I'm one day after when I should have actually done the 6-week update, but here's the Teff. You'll see it looks pretty yellow, especially over here. Not as bad out here. You can kind of see some green strips. That's where the buggy overlapped. I mean, there's virtually no moisture in the ground. It has been 6 weeks since we've had any rain to speak of. We did have a 1/4 inch Saturday night, I think it was. But I mean, it was just enough just to kill the dust a little bit. And then the sun came up and the wind blew and dried it all right back out. So I'm sure the grass got very, very little. However, you know, it is growing. You know, I mean, you can only hope for so much when you don't get any rain. So I'm glad it's doing as good as it is. I was hoping for better, but I was also hoping for some rain, and we haven't really gotten any rain to speak of. Everybody around us got, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch over the weekend, and we got a sprinkle. It's just amazing. I'll put a clip in here of the radar. You'll have a big red blob do this. Just like that, guys. It's like it morphed right around my place. And I mean, mine's not the only one that's done that too, but it definitely hurts to think if I'd only gotten, you know, an inch of rain over the entire life of this cutting right here would have made a huge difference. We got a 1/4 inch in 6 weeks. Another week or two and it'll be ready to cut. I want to get it just as it's starting to make a head, or before actually. But I was hoping for some rain, didn't get it, so now I hope it doesn't rain since I'm cutting hay. So let's get back to work. It's getting ready to rain again. We had 3.5 inches. Actually, we had 4.5 inches in the last, what, 4 or 5 days. You can see the clouds rolling by here. She's getting ready to move in. It is July 3rd. It's a Friday. This coming Monday would have been 8 weeks since this was planted. And we just got 6 inches of rain basically this past week. It's the first rain we've had on this since it was planted. And it's actually starting to green up a little bit. But it's time to cut. So you see that it's over knee high for sure. I'm cutting it as high as this thing's cut. Usually, it's generally around 3 to 4 inches. I want it to be at least 4, but it's going to be what it'll be. The ground is still a little damp, but it's not bad because it was super dry before we got all that rain. But I do have some concerns about my low spots. I might still have some water down there. We're going to find out. Hopefully I don't rut nothing up too bad. So you can see here, there's actually a couple of heads starting to pop out. I had to wait for this rain to come and go. I'm gonna say maybe 5% heads, so it's not bad. I don't think it's too far along. Let's get to cut and see how it does. If you have never farmed around trees or made hay around trees, you just really miss out on this enjoyment here. Every time you make a pass, every new cutting, every new time of the year, there's always some new limbs for you to run over. And this is a pretty good size one here. Look at that. That would make a pretty loud chunk going through the conditioner. One-handed? Nope, need 2 hands. Got this back piece done now. We're going to go all around and finish cutting the rest of this. back done. That little piece across the ditch there. Most of this here down, you got the little triangle here, a little piece over here, and then across the ditch and cut this here. That's all she wrote, guys. First cut in Teff is on the ground, as you can see here. Overall, I was pretty happy with it considering the conditions it had for growing. This last 6 inches of rain this last week really kind of made it perk up and turn a little bit more green. It's a little bit thicker than I thought it was in a lot of places. I did plant 2 different varieties, and I think they matured at a different rate because this front, like I said, was planted on a Monday the 11th of May, which would be 8 weeks from this coming Monday. The rest of that I planted on a Friday, which was actually 7 weeks from today. And the stuff that I planted on the Friday, it was actually further ahead than the other stuff. So I think it was a faster maturity variety. It won't really hurt anything. It's just had a few more heads on it, but for the most part, we got it just right. Where we can get the most yield as well as still have maintained good quality. So we're going to see how this stuff sells. Well, we're going to see how it dries first. I hear it takes forever to dry. But we're going to TED tomorrow. I'm going to make that a separate video. I'll make this all one video. But stay tuned for this next video of me TEDing, because I've got something new that I just brought to the farm. And maybe you guys will like seeing something a little bit different. We're going to TED that tomorrow. And see how we can get this stuff dry. Hoping we can bale it Tuesday. It's supposed to rain Wednesday. This is Friday, so that'll give us 4 days of drying time. Surely to goodness we can get her done. But stay tuned. Thanks for watching as always. Comment below if you got any suggestions. Thanks again. County Forage out.